Red alert. Again. Layered radio voices overlap in the dark. A searchlight slices across black water, then disappears. Inside a tiny orange lifeboat, the air feels thick. The walls sweat with condensation, and every wave hits like a fist against fiberglass. You can hear breathing. Too close. Too fast. No room to step away from fear. Tonight, this is no longer a ship hijacking. Tonight, it's a hostage problem. One man kept alive inside a floating box. April 2009. The Gulf of Aden. One of the world's most dangerous shipping corridors, where the ocean looks wide. But the risk feels close enough to touch. And this is the real pivot of the Captain Phillips case. In episode 1, the pirates didn't get what everyone imagines pirates want. They didn't take a giant container ship and sail it home like a trophy. The crew fought back with discipline, alarms, lockdown procedures, sealed doors, and a protected safe room mindset. The boarding turned messy. Time stretched. Control slipped through the pirates' fingers. So they changed the objective. They stopped trying to own the ship and started trying to own a person. Captain Phillips, alone, became the leverage. The pirates pulled him off the deck and away from the crew, then retreated to the one place they thought would guarantee escape. The lifeboat.
Freedom.
But the lifeboat is not freedom. It is confinement with an engine. Picture it, a cramped capsule built to save lives for a short time, designed for emergencies, not for bargaining. The ceiling is low, the space is tight, the air is hot, especially under daylight. Ventilation is limited, surfaces are slick with salt and sweat. Every movement bumps into someone else's shoulder. There's nowhere to pace, nowhere to reset, nowhere to cool down when adrenaline turns to rage. In a space like this, psychology collapses fast. Small mistakes grow teeth. A careless shove becomes a fight. A raised voice becomes a trigger. And the hostage, the captain, feels every swing of the mood, every shift in power, because he is trapped in the same few square meters with the men holding him. This is where our warfare decoded chain tightens. Detect, target, lockdown, Navy response. Episode 2 begins at the point where the last link activates, and the ocean turns into a chessboard. Out on the water, the Navy appears, not as a sudden explosion, but as a slow closing circle. A destroyer holds distance like a patient predator. A helicopter's presence is felt even when you don't see it. Rotor noise, a light sweeping the surface, a shadow passing overhead. The pirates can't tell where the eyes are, only that they are being watched. And being watched changes people. It changes how you breathe, how you speak, how you decide. The pirates realize something terrifying. They can't win quickly anymore. There will be no clean getaway, no victory lap, no dramatic escape into open sea. Every minute they stay. Inside this lifeboat, the odds shift against them, because the Navy can wait longer than they can, and the lifeboat can only carry so much fuel, so much water, so much patience. Captain Phillips realizes his own brutal truth. He is no longer just a man. He is a clock. If he stays alive, the crew keeps hope, the Navy keeps options, and the pirates keep bargaining. If panic takes over, if someone makes the wrong move, everything snaps into a new phase. So both sides enter the same dark game. Time versus control. And here's the hook that makes episode 2 unavoidable. A lifeboat can run, but it cannot run forever. Because once you are surrounded on open water, the ocean stops being an escape route and starts being a cage. In the next minutes, the pirates will shift from attack to demands, and the captain will learn how to survive by doing one thing perfectly: buying time. The negotiation channel opens the way most modern sea crises begin, through a calm voice over noise. A loudspeaker cuts through the wind. A radio crackles. The destroyer doesn't rush in like an action movie, because the Navy understands something the pirates are only starting to learn. On open water, speed is not always power. Control is power. From the lifeboat, the pirates throw out demands in broad strokes. Safe passage, a way out, money, guarantees. They don't need perfect wording. They just need leverage. And their leverage is a living human being in a cramped capsule. The Navy answers with the same weapon again and again. Patience, measured tone, short phrases, no panic, no escalation. They're not trying to win the argument. They're trying to slow the heart rate of the entire situation. And that's when the first twist hits. Not from the Navy, but from the lifeboat itself. Because the lifeboat is not a command center. It's not even a shelter. It's a pressure cooker. The heat builds. Air turns stale. Sweat collects on skin and walls. The floor feels damp. Every movement causes contact. Every shoulder bump becomes personal. There's barely space to sit without invading someone else's breathing. If you're hungry, you get angry faster. If you're thirsty, you make worse decisions. If you're exhausted, your fear starts inventing threats that aren't even there. In a larger space, men can cool down. In a lifeboat, they can't. And inside this capsule, you can start to see the pyramid of power wobble. The leader wants a plan. The right hand wants action. The youngest wants approval. And the hostage, the captain, wants one thing: time. Captain Phillips plays the only card he has left: psychological friction control. He talks less, he watches more. He studies who speaks first, who interrupts, who needs to prove himself. He notices which pirate keeps checking the horizon, which one keeps checking the captain's face, which one is losing patience with the heat. He doesn't challenge them like a hero. He doesn't try to dominate. He does something far more dangerous and far more effective. He stays calm, because calm is contagious, and so is panic. Every time Phillips stays steady, he forces the pirates to work harder for the same level of intimidation. He makes them spend energy. He makes them repeat themselves. He makes them argue. He makes the situation slower, and slower is survival. Meanwhile, outside the lifeboat, the Navy is building a different kind of cage, one made from distance. Here's the second twist. The destroyer does not close in. To the average viewer, that looks passive. But in maritime hostage tactics, closing too fast can be the spark that ends everything. So the destroyer holds a measured gap. It mirrors the lifeboat's movement. It maintains visibility without crowding. It keeps the pirates feeling watched, but not cornered enough to do something desperate just to prove they still have control. This is pressure without trigger. The pirates can sense the circle tightening, even if it never looks tight on camera. They see the steel-gray ship sitting out there like a wall that moves. They hear helicopter noise. They catch flashes of light. They feel the sea itself shrink. And the more they feel hunted, the more they cling to the hostage, because that's the one thing the Navy cannot ignore. At this stage, the negotiation isn't really about the pirates' demands. It's about time management. The Navy wants the pirates tired, thirsty, off balance, and predictable. The pirates want an exit before their confidence collapses. And the captain wants both sides to keep talking, because talk means delay, and delay means another chance to live. Then comes a move that changes the geometry of the crisis. The tow proposal. The Navy offers a controlled, stabilizing option. Allow the lifeboat to be towed. In plain terms, it's presented as a safety measure: keep the capsule steady, keep everyone alive, keep the situation from spiraling in rough water. But tactically, towing does something much bigger. It takes away the illusion of steering your own fate. If the lifeboat accepts towing, the pirates can no longer choose speed and direction freely. They can't simply run in whatever line they want. They become attached to a larger ship's physics: tension, drag, alignment, and predictability. And predictability is a gift to the Navy, because once a vessel is under tow, you can plan around it, you can position around it, you can control the rhythm of the ocean itself. Inside the lifeboat, the pirates argue again, quietly at first, then sharper. The right hand wants leverage now. The leader wants a path later. The youngest watches faces, searching for the safest answer. The captain listens, storing every detail, every hesitation, every sign of fatigue. And then the line goes out. A tow cable stretches across, the water like a drawn blade. It tightens. The lifeboat jerks, then settles into a forced direction. The sea spray changes, the wake changes. The world becomes a single track. This is the cliffhanger moment, because the second that cable becomes taut, the crisis enters a new phase. From that moment on, the lifeboat is no longer an escape vehicle. It becomes a moving bait box, pulled across the ocean inside a controlled perimeter. And the pirates may not realize it yet, but the rules have shifted. Because when you're being towed, you're not the one driving the game anymore. And the next step, the one that decides everything, will be about separation. Separating the leader from the group, separating the hostage from the threat, and separating the pirates from the illusion that they still have time. Episode 2 doesn't end with a gunshot. It ends with a cable. A simple line on the sea that says one thing: you're not running now. You're being taken. The circle tightens, not with a sudden charge, but with invisible pressure. Out on the black-blue water, the destroyer holds its distance like a moving wall. The spotlight returns again and again, painting the lifeboat in hard white strokes, then vanishing. The helicopter presence is felt more than seen. Rotor wash, distant thump, a sweep of light, a shadow that reminds everyone inside the capsule that there is nowhere to hide. And fatigue starts doing what bullets don't have to.
It's gone!
Inside the lifeboat, the pirates begin to look slower. Their voices lose rhythm. Their tempers ignite faster. Small errors start to appear. Hesitations, contradictory orders, the same question asked twice.
Why did we wait so long?
The longer the standoff drags, the more human the pirates become, and the less in control they feel.
Are we safe now?
That's the first movement of the turning point. A controlled environment begins to produce predictable cracks. Then the third twist hits. Simple, brutal, and structural. The lifeboat is a strategic weakness. It was supposed to be a getaway tool. Instead, it becomes a cage that forces the pirates into a single behavior pattern. Tighter, louder, more desperate. Because in a tight capsule, there's no room for calm authority to spread. Every argument fills the entire space. Every panic signal is heard by everyone. Every threat feels closer because it literally is closer. The lifeboat makes them harder to manage, but it also makes them easier to contain. And that is the part most viewers miss. A bigger ship gives pirates space to hide, to move, to reposition. A lifeboat gives them only one option: keep the hostage close and keep the pressure high. But the moment they do that, they become more readable, more emotional, more reactive. And reaction is what the Navy is waiting for. This is where the decoded chain starts to reveal itself, not as an explosion, but as a system. The Navy does not attack. They set conditions. They control direction. They control speed. They control distance. They control information. Even if the pirates don't fully understand the rules, they feel the effects. If the lifeboat tries to drift, the perimeter adjusts. If the pirates try to change the pace, the response stays measured. If the pirates raise demands, the answer comes back calm, controlled, repetitive, designed to slow the situation down, not speed it up. And when the perimeter stays calm, it steals oxygen from panic. Because panic needs momentum. The destroyer's role is not just to sit there. It is to broadcast one message without saying it out loud. We can do this all day. That message sinks into the lifeboat like heat. Captain Phillips feels it too, because he can sense the shift. The pirates aren't moving toward freedom anymore. They're moving in circles inside a box. So Phillips looks for the only thing that matters in a hostage capsule. A moment where attention breaks. He watches hands. He watches the leader's eyes. He watches who is closest to the hatch, who is holding the line, who keeps checking the horizon. He waits for the smallest rhythm change, a reposition, a glance away, a pause in the shouting. Maybe a hand moves to the radio. Maybe someone reaches for water. Maybe the tow cable jerks and everybody shifts their weight. And in that microsecond, Phillips tests a possibility. Not a Hollywood sprint, but a survival probe. A tiny movement, a slight lean, a shift toward the hatch. A look that says, "Is there a gap?" For a split second, it feels like the world might open. Then it gets crushed. A shout, a shove. The right hand snaps the pressure back up. The leader resets the hierarchy with a cold command. The youngest pirate stiffens, eyes wide, trying to look brave while his hands betray him. And suddenly the crisis becomes what it always becomes at the midpoint of a real hostage standoff. Not ship versus ship, human versus human. You can now see the pirates splitting into roles so clearly it feels scripted, even though it isn't. The leader is cold. He wants a deal. He wants control of the narrative. He understands that survival now depends on looking rational. The right hand is hot. He wants dominance. He wants to prove fear. He pushes the hostage harder because pressure is the only language he trusts. And the youngest is unstable. He's not fully calm and not fully cruel. He's nervous energy, desperate to belong, desperate not to be the weak link. That triangle is a ticking bomb inside a capsule, and the Navy knows it. So the conditioning continues. Maintain distance, maintain calm, maintain the perimeter, and let time do what time always does. Separate the disciplined from the desperate. Then comes the move that turns the entire chessboard. The leader asks for a new step, permission to come aboard the destroyer to talk. It sounds like negotiation. It sounds like diplomacy. But it's also risk, because the moment the leader leaves the capsule, the group inside changes shape. Publicly reported accounts describe this kind of pivot as a critical moment in the standoff. The leadership is physically separated, and the remaining pirates are forced to operate without the one mind trying to keep them strategic. And this is the cliffhanger that makes Part 4 inevitable. The leader climbs out. The ocean wind slaps his clothes. The destroyer's steel deck waits like a different world. Wide, stable, controlled. He steps toward a conversation he believes will secure his escape. But what he doesn't realize is that the Navy has been conditioning the rescue for hours, controlling pace, controlling distance, controlling options. And when the leader steps onto the warship, only 3 armed men remain inside the lifeboat with Captain Phillips. 3 men, 1 capsule, 1 hostage, and a perimeter that is now ready for the final phase. Because once the leader is gone, the lifeboat stops being a negotiation room and becomes the last locked door before resolution. In Part 4, we decode the final setup. Why this separation matters, how the perimeter turns into a trap, and what imminent danger really means when every decision is measured in seconds. The moment the pirate leader steps onto the destroyer, the ocean changes tone. On the warship's deck, everything feels wider, more stable, more controlled. Steel underfoot, hard angles, clean lines, floodlights that don't flicker. The wind is still there, the sea is still there, but the chaos feels contained. The leader keeps his face cold. He's not here to plead, he's here to bargain. And the Navy's response is exactly what makes this situation so dangerous for him. It's calm. No shouting, no threats, no drama. Just a measured voice, short sentences, and one consistent message underneath every word. We will keep talking, but we will not give you momentum. This is where the standoff stops being a chase and becomes something else entirely. A controlled negotiation designed to drain energy from the people holding the hostage. The leader wants certainty. Safe passage, a clear path out, guarantees. The Navy offers structure, conditions, boundaries, and time. Not because time is slow, because time is a weapon. And now, before we cut to black, this is the decoded mini. 3 points that explain why Episode 2 ends exactly here, and why Episode 3 becomes inevitable. Decoded Point 1. Why the Navy stretches the clock. People assume you end a hostage crisis by rushing it. In reality, rushing is often what causes the worst outcome. So the Navy slows the tempo on purpose. Time creates fatigue. Fatigue creates mistakes, and mistakes reveal patterns. Who is stable, who is impulsive, who can't handle pressure. The longer the perimeter stays calm, the more the pirates have to spend emotional energy just to keep their own fear under control. And fear is expensive. Eventually, somebody slips. Decoded Point 2. Why the lifeboat and the tow becomes a tactical choke. A lifeboat feels like an escape vehicle, but it's a trap disguised as motion. It's cramped, it's hot, it limits movement, it amplifies tension, it reduces options. Once the lifeboat is under tow, the geometry tightens even more. Direction becomes predictable, speed becomes controlled, spacing becomes manageable. That means the Navy can position assets around a single moving point. They can keep the lifeboat inside a controlled envelope without ever needing to rush it. The lifeboat turns into a mobile containment box, and containment is the foundation of rescue. Decoded Point 3. Why separating the leader is the key pivot. This is the turning screw that most people don't notice. In a small group under stress, leadership is not just authority. It's stability. The leader is the brain that keeps the group strategic instead of emotional. When the leader steps onto the destroyer, the lifeboat loses its planner. What remains inside is a different equation. Fewer minds, more nerves, and higher volatility. 3 armed men in a capsule with 1 hostage, and no cold strategist in the room to hold. The temperature down. That raises the probability of miscalculation. And in hostage situations, miscalculation is what creates the final trigger. Now here's the promise. Episode 3 is the night that decides everything. The perimeter closes. The options narrow. The lifeboat becomes the last locked room. And a single decision, one order, will determine whether this ends as a negotiation or as a rescue. Because once the leader is removed from the capsule, the standoff is no longer balanced. It becomes time versus seconds. And we end Episode 2 with the strongest image of the entire case. A scope view in the darkness. Black water shivering under the wind. The lifeboat rocking like a heartbeat. Inside, Captain Phillips breathing, controlled, listening for the next sound. Outside, the Navy counting, measuring, waiting. And here is the line that forces Episode 3. In that darkness, there are people who are waiting for one thing: confirmation of imminent danger. And the moment that confirmation arrives, everything ends.
Stand by for approach.